Hey everyone, I'm Jen. Welcome if you are new here. Today we are getting rid of some books, or as we like to call it around here, an unhaul. So I am definitely knee deep in that spring cleaning mode, and it was definitely time to say goodbye to some more books. It wasn't too long after I started this channel that I did an unhaul. I'll link that down below if you're interested, where I did get rid of quite a few of my YA books or books that I just wasn't going to get to. Here's the thing. I did leave quite a number behind. I have another one of these small-ish, skinnier shelves in another part of the room that basically housed my TBR, all the books that I hadn't read yet, but it was primarily filled with a lot of YA. I was part of a book club when I was reading YA, and I got sent books that, quite frankly, were not in my wheelhouse, and I didn't get to a lot of them. And then also, I purchased quite a few books that I just never got to. And over the years, I mean, I've outgrown YA for the most part. Here's the thing. That shelf still seems to be pretty packed, but I did move. I'm constantly moving my shelves around, but I did move a fair number of books over to that other shelf as well, and took some away for this unhaul. My goal is to have another one of these shelves at some point, and then just house my YA books that I want to keep for whatever reason. My favorite series, like The Vampire Academy, I'm not going to get rid of those. They hold a sentimental value to me. I may read those again at some point, but what I'm craving now is romance, and I'm not going to get to these books. That being said, like I said, I do have quite a few books that are still over there. I do have a stack that's kind of out in the open, where I plan on picking one of those books a month and reading it. Then if I want to keep it, great. If not, I can give it to a home where somebody else can appreciate it as well. Are there books still over there that probably should be in these baskets? Yeah. Little steps. We're doing this little at a time. I got rid of quite a few last time. I have over 20. I have 24 books here that I'm ready to unhaul. So there is a series that I'm contemplating getting rid of as well. I just didn't enjoy it. So like, why shouldn't I? It's a box set. You know what? We might add that to the end of this, but let's go ahead and get started. Some of these I've read. We're going to start with those. Again, a lot of them are YA. Before I got into YA, I was reading a lot of like mystery thriller. There are a few in here. Just like I did on my last unhaul, I'm going to go through the books that I've already read, and then we'll go through the books that I haven't read. Most of these are already on my Pango account, so if you're interested in anything, the link is definitely down below for you. I am going to pick out a few of these though, because I think it would be really cool to gift these to a free little library around my town. The only thing is I was looking it up, and I think like the closest one is like 30 or 40 minutes away, which I feel like is a little bit ridiculous. There should be more of these around. But I'm going to do a little bit more research, and if I do, I will definitely keep you guys updated on that as well. But without further ado, let's get into the books that I'm ready to say goodbye to. First up, I have One Last Gift by Emily Stone. This is marketed as a Christmas book. I did read this in December. Yeah, it had Christmas aspects in it, but it wasn't, I don't know. I mean, it does look like a Christmas book, doesn't it? I think I ended up giving it like maybe a 3 stars. It has a 3.82 on Goodreads. It is about a woman, Cassie, I believe, who is extremely close to her brother. He is her best friend, and he ends up passing away in a horrible accident. And she finds his scavenger hunt that was meant for her, that he always makes her during Christmas time. She finds it, and it takes her a while to start the scavenger hunt, because she knows that this is the last time that her brother will gift her anything. So it is essentially her journey about that. It was kind of sad to read for Christmas, I'm not going to lie, but I am ready to part ways with it. I'm not going to read it again. Also, I really don't know why I just gave you a synopsis of the book like it was a reading wrap-up. Maybe I've got reading wrap-ups on the brain. I don't know. I'm not going to be doing that with 24 bucks. I'm just not going to do that. This video does not need to be that long. I will give you maybe a sentence from here on out. Jen, seriously. I actually read this last month. This was part of that. I'm going to read a little bit of the stack once a month. This was it. I think I ended up giving it a 3 stars as well. It is The Girl I Used to Be. It got a 3.92 on Goodreads. It is about 17-year-old Olivia who comes back to the small town that she was born in to solve her parents' murder. Next up, I have Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. This gets a 3.97 on Goodreads. It was also the Goodreads Choice Award for 2013. This is a special edition cover. It is hardback. It is about Kath and her twin who loved fan fiction, even wrote a little bit of fan fiction, and then their kind of estrangement and why when they go to college. Next up, another YA book. It is Rules of Summer. This is by Joanna Philbin. This gets a 3.76 on Goodreads. I do believe that there is a second book to this as well. But this is about 17-year-old Rory who goes to work in, I think it's East Hampton for the summer. And even though she's not supposed to talk, like she's staff, she's not supposed to talk to the family or the family's children who are around her age because they're very uppity, but she ends up striking a friendship with their daughter and a romance with their son. So next, I have My Life Next Door by Huntley Fitzpatrick. This gets a 3.98 on Goodreads. I remember really enjoying this book. I was on the fence. There's a fence on the cover. I was actually on the fence about giving this away because I really did enjoy it, but am I going to read it again? No. It was just very heartwarming. This reminded me of when I first started reading YA. I picked up a Morgan Matson book. It was just super easy to get into. It reminded me of that. It just kind of took me back to there. But it does have some really intense moments and deals with some pretty triggering things. But it was a really good book. Next up, I actually have a trilogy. It is the Silver Trilogy by Kirsten Gier. These are German books, and they were adapted for English. So we have the first book, which is A Dream a Little Dream. Then the second, there we go. The second book, which is Dream On. And then the third book is Just Dreaming. They're gorgeous covers. These are hardback as well. These are a little weird. They're kind of a toss. I guess they would be considered a little bit they're a toss between fantasy and reality. They do, each one of them, have over a 4-star rating on Goodreads. They are about a girl named Liv who realizes that things aren't what they seem in her dreams, and she can do things in her dreams. She's seeing people that she has just met in her dreams. She's just moved to a new town, and she starts seeing some of the students in her school in her dreams, and realizes that she's not really dreaming. Like I said, hard to explain, but I did enjoy these. They were okay. Next, I have the first book in the Raven Boys series by Maggie Stiefvater. This is The Raven Boys. I actually listened to these books. I think I got through the first 2, but I only have the first one as a physical copy. This one gets a 4.05 on Goodreads. I think this cover is absolutely gorgeous, and I think that's why I've kept it on my shelf for so long. But I feel that it is time that somebody else should enjoy it as well. Next, I have Finding Audrey by Sophie Kinsella. This gets a 3.76 on Goodreads. It also got the Goodreads Choice Award in 2015. So this clearly is about Audrey. Something has happened to her in like the previous year of school or over the summer. I can't remember. Essentially, she has a really big anxiety disorder now where she hides herself by wearing sunglasses, will not go out of her house, has extreme anxiety about all things, socially, just being touched, anything. And so this is about her learning how to deal with her new world and maybe trying to step outside of that. Next up, I have a couple thrillers for you. We start with a series. I don't know how many books are in this series. There's probably quite a few, but we have Beautiful Lies by Lisa Unger. This is the first in the series. It is the Ridley Jones series. This gets a 3.7 on Goodreads, and it starts with Ridley and how she realizes 10 minutes can completely make a difference in your life and completely alter your life forever. And then we come to Sliver of Truth by Lisa Unger. It is part of the Ridley Jones series as well. It gets a 3.67 on Goodreads. It's either the second or the third book in the series. Listen, I've read quite a few of Lisa Unger's work, and they're very engaging. They're pretty fast-paced. I mean, I really enjoyed them, for sure. Which brings us to our next one, which is The Mephisto Club by Tess Gerritsen. This is a 4.03 on Goodreads. This is actually, if you ever watched the show, what was it on, like TNT or something, Rizzoli and Isles? This is the series that the TV show was based upon. This one is about a society of scholars and the hidden evils its history holds. I think I enjoyed this. I can't remember much about it. So it has been quite a many years, though. Quite a many years. Okay, so those are all the books that I have read. Let's get to the few that I have not. These are all YA as well. The first one, because I was so into YA, I'm a little ashamed that I haven't read it. I know that if I read it now, I would probably enjoy it. But again, that is not where my tastes lie, and I don't want to read it. I'm not going to force myself to read something that I don't want to. It is I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. If you know, you know. I know. This gets a 4.16 on Goodreads. This is about twins, a boy and a girl, so fraternal twins, who are basically inseparable until they're not. Next is Not If I See You First by Eric Lindstrom. It gets a 3.90 on Goodreads. This is one of those books that I got in a book box that I was a part of, which quite frankly, if I'm being honest, I had that book box for 12 months, and out of those 12 boxes, I may have read one or two. They just weren't up my alley. Like, nothing really piqued my interest. This is about a girl who is blind, but she can see better than you. She has rules that she lives by, but sometimes rules are meant to be broken. So, there you go. Man, this one. Next, I have Diamond Boy by Michael Williams. Look at that cover, though. Seriously. This one got pretty high marks as well. It gets a 4.16 on Goodreads. This is a high-stakes adventure book. This is set in the diamond fields of southern Africa. And like I said, it is YA. Then we have Love is a Many-Trousered Thing by Louise Renison. This is part of Confessions of Georgia Nicholson. This gets a 4.14 on Goodreads. This is number 8 in the Confessions of Georgia Nicholson series. These are all meant to be humorous books. I remember a few booktubers that I watched back in the day that really raved about how hilarious these books were. I mean, I think you can tell by the titles that these are supposed to be pretty funny. Apparently, Georgia is pretty daft and like off her rocker, but she makes for a good time. But some of the titles are just pretty hilarious. Angus Thongs and Full Frontal Snogging. On the Bright Side, I'm Now the Girlfriend of a Sex God. Knocked Out by My Nunga Nungas. Dancing in My Nutty Pants. Away Laughing on a Fast Camel. Then He Ate My Boy Entrancers. Startled by His Furry Shorts. And then Love is a Many-Trousered Thing is probably the most tame of those, but that's for a good time. And last but not least, I have Lies I Told by Michelle Zink. This gets a 3.8 on Goodreads. This is about Grace, who was adopted into a family of thieves who con affluent people out of money, jewelry, art, and anything else of value. The rules are simple. Find a mark, run the con, and get out. No attachments, no looking back. There are sacrifices, but in return, Grace gets something she's always wanted. A family. Now the Fontaines have arrived in Playa Hermosa. It's their biggest heist yet and their most difficult. But right from the beginning, things start to go wrong as the pressure mounts and the foundations of her makeshift family start to crack. Grace finds herself breaking more of the rules, including the most important one of all. Never fall for your mark. I feel like I picked this one up in that book that I think I gave away on my last unhaul. Trust Me, I'm Lying? Yeah, because there was another one after that. I feel like I picked this one and that one up because I was a huge, still am, I love Veronica Mars. There's something about that like teenage sleuth, but there you go. That is it. Those are the books that I am unhauling. Ooh, I said that I was probably going to give that box set up as well. Hold please. And just like that, it's magic and I'm back. Okay, here it is. The Mortal Instruments by Cassandra Clare. What do we have? We have 6 books here. Listen, did I read these? Yes. Did I enjoy them? No. They bored me. so much that I did not pick up the second series, which was like the Clockwork, whatever it is. I mean, people were fanatics over this, but it was boring. It was boring, and there was other things that I wanted to read. Also, I know that there is like a little bit of controversy around this, like plagiarism controversy. I don't know. I haven't done research on that. I can't tell you yay or nay. I've just heard that there is controversy again. I don't support people that do that, but nonetheless, I didn't enjoy this. I haven't gotten rid of it because it is a box set. Although there is something irritating. It did come damaged, so you'll see. Can you see right there? Like ripped. And then I think when I was trying to get the sixth book back in, it ripped a little bit more, but other than that, they're in great condition. I mean, the books are in good condition as well, but yeah, I think that it is time to get rid of these as well. So I do need to add this one in particular to my PangoBook account, but everything else that you've seen here is on there. So if there's anything that you want or you think somebody else would want, please check out the link below. But other than that, we're done. That's an unhaul. I'm really excited. I've made even more room on my shelves. As you can see, there's some areas here that need to be filled. Actually, what I've done is this lower shelf right here, I have housed all of my TBR. Like all the books that I haven't read are down here so that they can like stare at me and say, yo bitch, you need to read these. I know, I do need to read them. And then I can add them to my beautiful shelves. But I figured if they're down here, it's going to make me want to read them more. And of course, I want to read them anyway. It's just, you know, there's so much on the TBR. There's so much. But this will make me get to them quicker because everything else that's on here I have read. And up here you can't see, but I have almost, it's like 3/4 of this shelf is completely empty as well. So, you know, it's a work in progress. We're getting there. But I digress again. But that is it for today's video. Thank you for sticking around if you've made it this far. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already, because we're friends, and that's what friends do. Until next time, happy reading. Bye.